into a chat. So type your question in, we'll be reading those, and we will present them at the end. The presentation will be about 45 minutes, following with some questions. And again, as I mentioned, use the chat feature. The recorded materials will stay online for about 24 hours after this event. So now I'm happy to introduce Afsana. Just a little background. I had asked her if possibly we could talk before I got to introduce her. And she, instead of a phone call that I imagined, invited me over for coffee and tea. And we visited for 2 hours. After which she said, oh, just 2 more minutes. And she invited me out to the kitchen. And she had an entire meal with a beef dish, a chicken dish, a mixed vegetable dish, rice, flatbread, and then a very nice sweet dessert. So I left not only as a fan, but I felt as a friend. I got to visit with her husband too. In that 2-hour conversation, I'm not going to try to preempt it with it, but she has accomplished a lot. She has passed all the testing to become a medical doctor in Bangladesh and in the United States. And she's accomplished an awful lot, as much as I think cultures and society will permit. So it's a very rich experience, and it required me to then go back and read a little bit more, look up Bangladesh and the history of Bangladesh and some of the interactions between the United States and Bangladesh, which did not leave me feeling particularly proud. But that's as an American lifelong citizen, maybe I'm a little critical of what I expect from our country. But her history, her personal history, and coming to the United States and choosing to raise her family here in the United States, I think honors us. So with that, Afsana, if you'd like to come up.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening and assalamualaikum all. So thank you, Washington Interfaith Neighbors, to give me this opportunity to talk about my country and my struggles, my challenges as an immigrant in the USA, and also about a little story of as a Muslim, how we practice our Islam. So it's a great opportunity for me, and thank you, Kay, and thank you, Roger, for talking with me and just tell about me. Thanks a lot. So first, I want to start with the presentation slide. So I am from Bangladesh, as Roger told you. So in the Bangladesh, I completed my medical school, and I work as a family medicine doctor. And then with my brother-in-law, and we decided to move to USA, and we started our journey here. So first of all, I divided my presentation into 3 parts. The first part, the history and everything about Bangladesh. Second part, about myself, my story, and third, a little bit about Islam. So, couple of weeks ago, I have an opportunity to participate in the artisan fair in the Crete. So there I met lots of people and most of them like asking, where are you from? So when I tell them I'm from Bangladesh, and then I can ask them, okay, but do you know about our country, Bangladesh? So most of them, they told, oh, you have like lots of flood in your country, you have like cyclone and tornadoes. So as like when I talk with the people here, most of them like they know about Bangladesh as a country of flood, tornado, and some kind of like it's true because like the 2 or 3 weeks before we have a cyclone and like Mocha, but it was like it didn't hit Bangladesh, so we don't have the great disaster. But still, we have like the tornado and cyclones in the summer season and flood in the rainy season. But the reality is Bangladesh is beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. We have 6 seasons. And the first flower that is from the summer, the second one, my favorite flower, that blooms only in the rainy season. And not only the flowers, nature, we also have like the fourth one, that is the Cox's Bazar, that is the longest sea beach, like the 5th longest sea beach. And this is the largest natural sea beach in the world. So we have the largest sea beach. And the picture with the tiger, that is from like the Sundarban, that is a forest, and that is the largest mangrove forest in the world. And that is like, we have like different kind of animals and everything. And UNESCO, they announce it, it is the largest natural heritage park. And from here, the third one, that is the tea garden, like the tea garden. So we have like lots of tea garden in our country, and the brand you have, Isfahani, Lipton, Tetley, all branded tea, they come from like our country, most of our country, and some of the India. So we have like the tea garden, we have mountain, we have sea, we have forest. So though it is a little country, but we have like everything in our country. So now I just want to share like the map of the Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is surrounded by India, Nepal, part of Nepal, Bhutan, and part of the Myanmar. And the diameter, like the Bangladesh, is almost 59,000 square miles. And Ohio is like 44,000 square miles, but in that 59,000 square miles, 170 million people live there. So it is kind of densely populated country. Kind of crowded, like when you walk, you have somebody like you will push or you like just get pushed by. So, but I found it when I was in the New York, like the people, they are like just road, there are lots of people. So when first I moved here, in the road, nobody's in the road, or I didn't see lots of people. Then I miss, okay, where is the crowding? Where is the people? I miss the people. Now I want to share you the history of Bangladesh. So if like I want to start it from the 1947. Before that, Bangladesh was under the Britain, like they ruled Bangladesh. So 1947, the partition of British India happened. So how they like partition of the people, the Muslim, the majority of the Muslim people, they are just like from the Pakistan, and there was like 2 parts of the Pakistan. At the Amber, there is the West Pakistan, and the green red small part, that is the East Pakistan. So the Muslim people, they are in the Pakistan, West and East Pakistan, and like inside the orange, that is the India, and the majority people of the India, that is like Hindu. So we have like Muslim and Hindu constitution. So that was in 1947. Then in 1950s, so most of the people in Pakistan, like though West Pakistan is large, but in small East Pakistan, we have like the population more, and mostly we speak in Bangla. So like in 1950, 1940, like from the West Pakistan, their president declared Urdu, like they speak in Urdu. So they declare of Urdu as the state language of both West and East Pakistan. And the people of our country, they don't like it. No, that we cannot like do that. We speak in Bangla. Bangla is our mother tongue. So we don't want to speak in other language, Urdu. So there was a mass protest, and like there was lots of people die like in that protest. They just like put the police and army and they just kill the people. And it was like 1952. And in 1999, UNESCO, they like accept 21st February as the Mother Language Day. So like we observe the Mother Language Day for Bangla because for Bangla lots of people died, and we have to fight for our language. So that's why from like 2000, yeah, we started to celebrate 21st February as like mother tongue, International Mother Language Day. Yes, and then like they still ruled over Bangladesh, and they want to like they like want their things, they impose their things upon us. So in 1970, 71, it was like the general election in West and East Pakistan, and majority of like people voted Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and she was elected as president. But the thing is, West Pakistan, they didn't like this. No, it can't be happen. Like we are the big portion and we are the rich, we have everything. So we will be the president, not the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So they denied, and they like 25th March, like they just like put the army, police, and other people to attack the Bangladeshi. They don't have any gun, they don't have anything, but they still like mass killing. Okay, just kill the people, and the West Pakistan will rule the East Pakistan. But like we have to vote like without any gun, without support. But one thing, the India, they also like our neighbor country, they also support a lot, and we have to go to India for our that time for the training and everything, and with also the firearms, everything, they support us. So in after like 9 months of fighting, we owned, and that was like the victory day. So 16 December 1971, that we're in, and we have like a independent country in Bangladesh. So during that, where George Harrison he like arranged a concert for like the concert for Bangladesh, and he like tried to send some try to like get some money and help like the fund to help the people for Bangladesh. And this is the picture, like the people, they are fight like we are the normal people, these are the Pakistani military people. So the normal people fight with the everybody, like the males, even the young people. They try to like, okay, this is my country, we need to save our country. So in 1971, 16 December, this was the instrument surrender day, and it was signed by Pakistani army officer and Indian army officer. So that's the history of the Bangladesh. But the other things like Bangladeshi people, like this is Dr. Muhammad Yunus, he got like Nobel Prize in Economics in 2006. This is the Rabindranath Tagore, one of the biggest poet, and he also got Nobel Prize in 1913 for one of his book like Gitanjali. So like, yes, Bangladesh, but we have lots of things to share. And though like we are poor and the thing like we don't have enough resources or anything, but still we have this Kutupalong refugee camp. So from the Rohingya people, they are more mainly Muslims, and the Myanmar government, they don't like the Muslims, so the people, they attack the Muslim people, and then most of the people, because we are border with the Myanmar, so most of the people came to our country. So this is the largest refugee camp, and it established in Cox's Bazar in 1970. And we hosted like 100 people. And as March like 2023, they are fleeing from Myanmar. And I just want to share a little bit like the Cleveland and Cincinnati, they have the population like this. So in a small country, we have like this population as it is. So now I want to tell about like the immigrant. So when a person permanently leave his or her country and try to like settle up in a different country, that is the immigrant. So I am also immigrant. I moved to the USA 2012 with my husband and my son. So when I moved here, I faced lots of challenges. Oh, before that, I just want to share one thing. So this is my uncle. His name is Mohammad Hassan Ali, and he moved to the USA in 1970 to do his PhD in the University of Cincinnati. So he was one of the first immigrants from Bangladesh, the USA. And he also worked in the, like he Ohio State, and like he worked here. So he is the pioneer as an immigrant from Bangladesh, and lots of people when moved here, he helped them a lot. Like he is, I cannot like, I also like, he died last year, but he is always like cheery. He's like, I cannot, he's a so good person, good-hearted person. So he like, welcome all the people who came to the USA. They just came, they just moved to his house. His house was like all the people who were coming to the USA from like different area of Bangladesh. They are just came here for their starting days. They have to live with them. He like provide all kind of support like food and homes and everything, then how to get the driving lessons, how to get a job. So he like did a lot. Now I want to share with the challenges, like, okay, as an immigrant, what are the challenges I face? First, I want to say about the language. So in our country, our media of learning is English. So we have to write in English, and we also have to like our books, textbook, everything in English. But we don't have to speak in English. So we always speak in Bangla, but we have to write English. We have to like read in English. So when first I moved here and I went for grocery or I went to the petrol pump, and the people, when they are talking, when they are asking something, I don't get anything. So what are they talking? I just ask my husband, hey, what are they talking? I can't understand anything. So the problem is like, when you are talking, I don't get you, like this is your accent. And when I am talking, you don't get me because my heavy accent, I am sorry for that. So like that was the thing, like okay, then I thought like I need to learn like how the people here speak, and I need to try to like watch different kind of movie, TV channel, whatever, and I just want to go to the people. Okay, I need to learn like how they speak. So sometimes I just try to lip reading. Okay, what they are talking, I just want to learn how they are talking. And the second thing about like the education, so in back home, I practiced medicine, like I was a family medicine physician, then I completed my master's, I work as an assistant professor. But when I moved here, I just learned that here, USA, they recognize our MD. I am an MD, but I cannot practice here as an MD. I have to take my test again, and then I have to get my certificate. Then I have to do the residency. Then I can practice here. So, like first, I moved here 2013 from Pennsylvania. And first couple of days, I was thinking like, should I go? Like, should I start over again from the medical school? Because I finished my medical school in 2004. It was 2012. I almost like forget everything. So it was, and it was very difficult for me to take a decision like, okay, what should I do? How should I start? And in the meantime, I always like love to learn. So I started like different kind of training. Like I trained for a medical assistant certificate. I get training like other certificates. Okay, I don't want to start again, so I want to start something new. So first I work as a patient support assistant at a nursing home, then in the Riverside Hospital. And when I worked there, and I was always thinking what was my goal? My goal was to serve the people as a physician. Now I am serving the people, but as a PSA. So this is not my goal. So like when I work, and most of the time I become like so depressed. No, I don't want to be a PSA here, though I changed, like I came from Bangladesh, but I should try. I should try my best to like get the license here. So in 2016, I think like, okay, I should go for medicine, and I started my study, and I don't want to regret later. Like maybe later I will be regretted, why shouldn't I go for medicine? So I studied for 4 years, and I passed all the tests for the licensing exam with the high score. But when I started my application for residency, most of the program, like most of the hospital, they ask for like the fresh graduate. And my graduation is little bit like older. I graduated from medical school 2004. So most of the program, they don't even look at my application. So that time I'm thinking like, okay, then what should I do? And it was like 2020, 21, that COVID started. And I talked with lots of doctors. I talked with like all kind of people like, okay, this is my situation. I have the ND certificate, but I cannot practice here. What should I do? So most of the time, the doctors, like I told you, I work in the Ohio State, I work in the Riverside Hospital, and some of the immigrant doctors, they know my situation, but they don't know, like, I don't know, how can I help you? So most of them, they say, I don't know your system, like we are studying here, we get all our certificates here, so we don't know like how to help you. So, and even in the COVID, I cannot go to the hospital, I cannot like contact with the people. So that time was like really, really hard for me. But at the time, I also think about, okay, maybe I should explore new things. So I start like application. I started my application to become a research assistant. So I started in the Ohio State, wherever the position are open, I just put my resume and okay, I'm very interested to work at the research, like that kind of thing. So finally, I got a research position 2022, like as a in the cardio oncology. Department of Ohio State. So now I am working with cardiac cancer medication with some professor, and this is also a new thing for me because all the time I am like, I know, okay, the patient came and I know like, okay, what do you have, and I know all the symptoms, maybe I give them some tests and then I give them the treatment. And here in the research and other work, I don't have to do that. Like every day I'm learning new things. As a PSA, I just like got the training. Then I started at the Giant Eagle Coles as a cashier. Then as a cashier, I started new training because like I have to remember the numbers in the tomatoes or bananas. Then when they came, I just have to put the numbers and I have to do all the things. So that was like everything was a new for me. So I had to go through lots of training, lots of new things. But when I work in the research, this is also kind of new. Like, I don't know, because I don't have any research experience before, and every day they are asking me for different kind of things. Okay, do this, and every day I'm thinking, okay, how can I get this? I don't even know about this, but still, I'm fighting, and I am working. And the third thing is like the cultural adjustment. So here I can tell you one thing, like when I moved here, there are lots of Bangladeshi people, and we have like Bangladeshi cultural things and everything. So I didn't have like lots of problem with this thing, but I have just only one problem. That was like my name is Musamma Afsana Ferdousi. But everybody like call me Afsana. So for the first name, we don't have to use the first name in Bangladesh. So when we moved here, everybody called me like Musammat. So sometimes I become, who is Musammat? then I realized, oh, Musammat is my name. So that's how like now I have to like every time I have to email and put my name, best regards, Musammat, best wishes, Musammat. So when I emailed with Anne, so she told me like, okay, should I put Afsana or Musammat in your flyer? Then I thought, okay, Afsana is fine. I usually go by Afsana. Other than that, I didn't have like, I didn't face any kind of cultural problem. And like the discrimination, I don't know like other people, but in my personal life, when I work in the nursing home, and sometimes I feel like some people, some old people in the nursing home, they just treated us like I am their personal maid or like that kind of thing. That hurts me. Like, okay, I'm a person, but they cannot treat me like that. Other than that, I don't think so. Like I face lots of discrimination or anything. But the thing is, the challenges we have lots of non-profit. They help us, like the FREEZE, Riverview International Center, and Asian American Community Services. So whenever we have any kind of difficulty, like application, job application, and for ESL, English language helping, we always like Riverview International Center, that was close to my house. So we just run and go there and ask like, okay, we need help with this. And they are like, everybody there, everybody that's non-profit, they're like wonderful people. They always like help us. So now I just want to tell a little bit about my Islam. So Islam is a religion of love, universalism, tolerance, peace, and reconciliation. So this is the religion of peace and mercy, and this is also the religion of harmony. So when like I just want to tell one thing, like when we greet each other, we say like the salam, and salam means peace. So when we like greet anybody, we say assalamu alaikum, and that means is peace be upon you. And the person who replied like wa alaikum assalam, that is also means peace be upon you too. So we always like want like the people be like the peace, people believe with the peace. And we have like 5 pillars of Islam. First of all, that is Shahada. That is to testify that no one but Allah, like our God, He is only, we only worship Him, and our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, He is only His messenger. And same thing is Salah. Offering Salah like prayer, we usually pray 5 times a day. And for the zakat, that is paying the zakat, like giving alms or charity, like we try to like the rich people who have some money, they have to like give the money to the poor who don't have the money. And the 4th pillar is the Hajj. It is like they're going to pilgrim to the house of Allah at Makkah. And last thing is the fasting. So for like the fasting, we have to fast for a month, the whole Ramadan. Like we can eat before sunrise, and we can break our fast after sunset. And in the meantime, we cannot even drink or eat anything. And one thing I also want to share, like when I saw some YouTube video and other things, most of the people went to ask, like, what do you think about a Muslim? Sometimes they say terrorists, we are afraid of them, we don't like Muslim. If we see somebody with the cover, we don't like to talk with them. So terrorism has no place in Islam. Our God says in Quran, whosoever kills an innocent human being, it shall be as he has killed all mankind. And whosoever saves the life of one, it shall be as if he had saved the life of all mankind. So I told you before, like our religion, it is the religion of peace. So we also celebrate like two Eid. One is like after fasting, whole month fasting. We have lots of food. We have lots of dresses, colorful dresses. We have prayer after prayer. We hug each other, and like that's really like our party, like your Christmas. And we have another celebration, like two Eid. So one is like after fasting, that is Eid al-Fitr, and one is like after sacrifice, that is called like the Eid al-Adha. So this is our pilgrim Makkah. So during our Eid sacrifice, lots of people went to visit our pilgrims. This is Makkah. And now I'm at the end of the presentation. So this is my family, my son, my husband, my family in Bangladesh. So this is like one of the beautiful places in Bangladesh. My mom, my dad, my brother, sister, and this is my family in the USA. My father and mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, and their families. And this is my second family in the USA. So these are my buddies, and we have to like share everything. Like whenever we have difficulties, any problems, we share with each other. And I also love gardening. So this is a little squash from my garden. Thank you.
So is the Muslim religion, is that the dominant religion of Bangladesh? And is it more Sunni or Shiite, or how does that?
Sunni, mostly
Sunni.
Sunni. Yes. Okay. Like that part of Bangladesh, but East Asia, we are mostly the Sunni, but like the Iraq, Iran, Middle East, they have like the Shia predominant.
You have so many refugees there,
Yes.
and how do you take care of them? Is it international or what?
We get some like funding from the international other countries, but most of the refugees, like our government, they want to help the people with the food, with like the job and everything. But we also have a little bit funding from other countries.
And now Myanmar, and that's where they're from, yes?
Yes.
What do they think about you taking these people? And I know that there was a great slaughter of these people.
Yes, they don't want to take them back. They don't. Yes.
Afsana, asking on that same question, or about the refugees. Do people from Bangladesh, are they happy that the refugees are there? Are they bothered? I mean, we have different opinions in our own country. So how does your country treat your old country treat the refugees? Some people happy, some people not. How does it go?
I can ask Roger, what do you think about our hospitality?
It's incredible. I mean, they don't know strangers.
Even to the refugees?
I think that's the implication here.
Yeah.
I was a refugee in her house. I was treated like a prince. So
the thing is, like, we have like little, like we are not a rich country. So politicians, they sometimes think like this is the burden for our country because there are lots of people in our country. So they are like working with the UNICEF and other like the non-profit and other NGO like if they could take some refugee or if they could help with for their food and everything. So people are trying. They are not happy, they are not sad, but they are trying to help them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you're not a rich country, but in the publicity that I put out, I'm the one who said that it's the second largest economy in Southeast
In the
Asia.
Southeast Asia, yes.
Yes,
So
next to India.
yes.
So I'm wondering who has all the money and who doesn't have all the money?
That's a very valid question.
So in the Southeast Asia, we have like the Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. So Pakistan, all the time now they have the war and everything. So their economy is kind of down now. Myanmar, they are always like the problem. There is some internal like political problems. So they also have like different kind of political issue and other, and they are not that kind of rich. But Bangladesh, they try like they have the remittance from foreigners and everything. They are rich with that, and they also have like multiple different kind of like they are doing. They try to develop like they are making the roads, they are making the highway, everything, and my father-in-law, he also want to say something.
There are so many garments industry in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Second largest exporter country in the world now. And it is the main economic source of our country, the garments. And there are so many people living abroad and they earn remittance, foreign remittance and sent to Bangladesh. For this reason, the Bangladesh economy is going up.
And when you went to the Kohl's or other store and want to buy some shirt or dresses, and when you go to the logo or the price tag, you will see like made in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Question, the refugees, they are of what faith, nationality? I guess the question is there a path for them to mainstream in the Bangladesh culture, or are they forever a separate?
So they are Muslim. The religion is same, but the culture, language, everything is different from Bangladesh. Like Bangladesh, we have our Bangla and our culture is different from the culture of Myanmar Muslims. So it's kind of like difficult for Bangladeshi to intermingle the Bangladeshi and the Myanmaris.
Can they work? Can the
Yes.
refugees work in that legally work?
Yeah, they try to make some more job opportunity for them.
Oh.
I'm sorry, my husband told like, no. So can you explain it?
No, actually, I don't know what the situation is, but I don't think like they have a good system there to contain them, but they are trying to contain them in a place.
Trying to keep them there.
Yeah, because Bangladesh, we have a very little job opportunity there. So the rate of unemployment is very high. And definitely the refugee crisis, they're worsening it. But I don't think they're accepting or they're intermingling with the mainstream at all, because that's why they place the camp in a like place that they cannot come. Because they are trying to help. They provided the place for them, but yeah, I don't think they're going to be in joining the mainstream soon. No.
Yes.
We worked with Bhutanese refugees from Nepal, and it sounds like a similar situation. They had to leave Bhutan to a country that had a similar, I mean, they were historically from Nepal, if you will. They were not welcome back. Ultimately, they were dispersed to the United States and other countries. So it sounds like, you know, this is a much larger scale, but a similar situation.
Yes, yes, that will be great. Like if the US government, they like now the people from Afghanistan, they came here as a refugee. So maybe US government take some of Rohingya refugee from Bangladesh to the US. Then maybe that will help. Yes.
So what does Rohingya mean? Is it the name of their version of the religion, or is it a culture? I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it is.
I think like, I'm not sure. Maybe we can Google it later. But the thing is, the Muslim people in the Myanmar, they are called Rohingya. I'm not sure about this.
The place where they live is Rakhine.
Rakhine.
The place where they live, that's why the Rohingya came from Rakhine area.
Okay.
So it's based on the area right now.
Okay, okay.
I was wondering about education in Bangladesh. And were the textbooks in English or in the Bengali language?
So the textbooks are all English. And yes. So only in the higher education, like from our education is far more different from your system. So when we moved here, we love your education system. This is the best education system. The problem is like from first grade to 10th grade, we have like 8 or 7 subjects and they are in different languages, like the Bangla, like different, they are always in Bangla, and there is one subject that is English, that is only in English. But when we started like our college, then the books are English. But like, yeah, the science and other books are English, but like for the medicine, like when you went to the medical school, all the books are English. But some people, they are like studying in Bangla literature, Islamic literature and other literature, but that books are Bangla in higher education. Yes.
There were 2 questions that came in from the online people. One was, you just mentioned one of the advantages in the United States you thought was the education system. Were there other advantages that you found from your life here in the United States?
That is the health system. Like here, whatever the situation, whatever the people have money or not money, but they can get, when they are going to the hospital, emergency, they can get like the treatment. But in our country, we don't have this health insurance system. So the people who can pay, only they can get the treatment. Like if people don't have the money, they cannot get the treatment.
And what about these folks? All of these folks?
These are Rohingyas.
I know, do they have a health system within the camp?
Still not, but sometimes they have the health camping. So I saw like most in the Facebook, the people like from USA, the doctors from Bangladesh, they have some money, they have some drugs, and they just went to the Rohingya refugee, and they just try to give them treatment. And also the Bangladeshi people, the Bangladesh Medical College and other like hospitals or anything, they also did some healthcare camps to help the people. But I don't think so. Like they have, free. That's free.
Do you know if the United Nations is involved in the refugee camp? United Nations or UNICEF?
I'm not sure, probably they are. There are a lot of organizations, they're working with them, because Bangladesh government only, they cannot handle the situation. It's beyond, like, this population is greater than combined to Cincinnati and Cleveland. So 700,000 people, that's too much for a small country.
My father-in-law told like around more than 12,000 people, so maybe.
So the geography is interesting in Bangladesh also. And a lot of people live near the Bengal Bay. Yeah, and then, but the majority of the people live in the cities.
Yes.
So tell about what life is like near the water. So how do those people live?
So, the most of the people near the water, like the Cox's Bazar, the beach. So some of them, they like went for fishing. So fishing is their main income source. And the people near the Sundarban, there is Sundarban and there is also the Cox's Bazar. They are the like near. So the people also went to the forest for like getting the honey, food and everything. So the people there, life is not like the city people. They are mostly poor people, and sometimes there are like lots of people who went to the forest and the Royal Bengal tiger, like they are killed by the tiger. So there are lots of widow in Bangladesh in that part. So many organizations try to help the widow people in the Sundarban area. And like when the people went for catching or fish or anything, sometimes they have this cyclone, tornado, and sometimes they died. So like their life is not very good in who live near the beach.
How is city life there when you were there compared to here?
It's always busy. And people, I don't think they are sleeping. Most of the time, most of the people in the roads and outside, they are getting for, like, there are lots of people. So when you just like go outside, you can see like the people are outside. They are either gossiping, they are watching movies, like after the work hour. And my husband, he told like, we have lots of unemployed people. So most of the people, they are not working in the office or corporate or anything. So some of them, they may be just like baking, or sometimes like, just like their life is not very good.
So is the business there mostly small businesses, markets and so forth? Do you have large buildings and large companies?
Yes. We have
Yes,
like,
that poorly.
so the people, some people in Bangladesh, they have like lots of money. And some people of Bangladesh, they don't have any money to buy. So we have like large buildings in the city, Dhaka. We have like 5-star, 3-star hotels in Bangladesh. So you can go, you have lots of money, you can go and spend some time in the pool, whatever you want to do. You have money. And some people, they also don't have any houses. Homeless people, they are just like staying in the street or like street. They don't even have any house. They are sleeping nearby the railway station. They are sleeping nearby the roads, and they don't know like what they will eat in the morning or evening because they don't have any job. So this is mostly like the discrimination of money in Bangladesh.
We have that here.
Small.
But our place is like big. Yeah, like my father-in-law said, like we have the city is different, but like the villages, we also have villages now still. So we have like larger place we like cultivated. The Bangladesh is the land of river. So we have like lots of river. That's why sometimes the water overflow, we have the flooded.
And this order comes from Indian side.
How long have you been here in this country? When did you come? Did you come before?
Yeah.
2002?
2001, 2002.
After we got married.
After you got here. You got married here.
No. In Bangladesh, yeah. So, yes.
Did you know that when you came to the United States, you would have so much difficulty trying to practice medicine? Did you expect, it seems like it's been very, very difficult. Did you know that would happen?
Yeah. The thing is, I told Roger before, like in Bangladesh, we completed our medical school, then we completed our masters. We worked like as an assistant professor, we have good job, we have good money and everything. And my brother-in-law, he used to live here. And my father and mother-in-law, they also moved here. And my brother-in-law, he always like called and tell us like, okay, study for USMLE. USMLE is very hard, so you have to get started for the USMLE. But me and my husband, we never think about, like, we know maybe one day we have to go to the USA, but we didn't even prepare. Like when I see the people now, when they're in the medical school, they started their preparation for the licensing exam here. But me and my husband, though we know like maybe one day we have to go to the USA, but we didn't even prepare for anything. We didn't even like want to, we are not prepared to come here. So we have everything over there. And my family is there. My family is back in Bangladesh and his family is there. So I was with my family. And when we got like the visa and everything, like we have to come here, that time I even think about, okay, maybe we just have to go. And after 4 or 6 months, we came back. We didn't even Google or research anything, like how the system is here. So when I start packing, my mom asking like, why do you pack so much things? Like you have to come back after 6 months. I'm kind of like homesick. So when I was in the medical school, I used to live in the dormitory. So every month I have to go visit my parents. They are like, I am in the suburb, they live in the city. So 8 or 9 hours bus journey, but still I have to like visit them once a month. So when they find out like, okay, I'm now moving and my in-laws, they moved here. But in our country, our family system is different from yours. We don't have any babysitting. Now they have little babysitting because most of the women, they used to stay at home and my parents take care of my son. So I don't have to babysit my son. So like our family bonding is stronger. And my parents, they didn't even think like maybe one day I leave them and I will. So she was asking, you don't have to take so much stuff, you will come back like that. So I was like, okay, why am I taking so much things? I will come back after 6 months. But when we moved here, so we see like, okay, there are lots of things to stay here, maybe we can stay. And that's how, but we didn't even plan for the USMLE or anything. So my brother-in-law, when he asked, okay, just study for USMLE, just before coming here, one day before coming here, I went to the library, not the library, we have like some bookstall. I went to the bookstall and buy some books for the USMLE. Just packed them and came here. I didn't even open the book. Okay, what should I study?
Tell what USM whatever you keep saying, tell what that stands for.
United States Medical Licensing Exam. So like it is hard. So when I ask people like when I moved here, I asked most of the Bangladeshi people like, what do you think? What should I go for my career? Like, should I do the medicine here or should I do like another thing? So most of the people at the time, they discouraged me. Okay, you don't go for the medicine. It is very tough. The education is totally different here, and their system is like in our country, we have the test and our test is like 3 hours. And when I started my journey for the licensing exam, it was like 9 hours every day, 9 hours or 10 hours exams. And the thing is, it's like different, the content, the curriculum, everything is different. We went through like the superficial thing. We know things, but that are different. Like here, you have the genetics, you have the labs and everything. You can do CT scan, MRI, whatever you want, you can do that. But in our country, at that time, we don't have that opportunity. We only have the X-ray. And most of the time we depend our like clinical assessment. Okay, the patient is calm and with this, and we think like, okay, maybe you have this. So we don't have to like all the time, we don't have to like tell them, okay, go to the lab, do the blood test, CT scan, MRI, whatever the newest technology here. We don't have anything. So most of the time we depend on our clinical assessment. Okay, maybe this is typhoid or maybe this is normal flu. So we don't have any flu test or anything. So you can have some channel, you can have some journal, that kind of thing. So when we moved here, lots of genetic things, we don't have any genetics because like that is advanced medicine. So we don't have the opportunity to study in back home. But when I was in the masters, I did my master's in anatomy, then I know, okay, this is the genetics, these are the RNA, DNA, that kind of stuff. But before that, I don't know. And when I saw like my son, he is in the 10th grade. So now he knows like the RNA, DNA, everything like the thyroid, different kind of thing. But when we were in the masters, we started studying that kind of thing. So we are far behind in the medical system. But one thing I want to share with you, like our family bonding, that's the most beautiful thing. Like in our country, we have the joint family. In Bangladesh, I used to live with my parents. Here, when I moved, I used to live with my in-laws. But the thing is, in Bangladesh, we always taking care of our parents. We don't even think about, like, we don't have any nursing home in back home or any old home. But nowadays, everything is developed. So we have some old home in Bangladesh, but our time, we always think about like we should take care of our parents. So the parents always live with us, and we take them to their appointment. We help them like everything, from the food, from home, from medicine, everything we help them. So before their death, they always like used to live with us. So that is the thing I realized when I started working as a PSA in the nursing home. I feel like, oh my God, what's going on here? And that shocked me.
There was one more question from one of our online viewers. If you taught to do women have this equal opportunities for education and advancement in your country as men?
Now they have everything, the equal opportunity for education and everything. But like my mother-in-law says they don't have that opportunity. But now we have. So I am a doctor. And at the time, like when in 90s, 20s, we have like two options, either doctors or engineers. So when somebody asks like, what you want to be? I always say, I want to be a doctor. And my brother, he says he want to be an engineer. So like from that time, like the women, they also get the opportunity to like study. So I am doctor, my brother is engineer, and my sister, she like studied BBA, and my husband family, he is doctor, and his two brothers, they're engineers.
I'd like to add something like about the education system. The way she described it, actually, she was reflecting at the time she was studying. Okay, so we studied medicine 90s. That time, I think it was like the same. Only there should be a few facilities. They were treating like specialized, right? Now the specialization is almost everywhere. And we don't know what's going on there in our country. There are now a specialized hospital there too. And the medical content, they're the same. We read the same books, we read the same journals. So I don't think they're far behind in terms of education. Okay.
I told like in
Yeah, but in real practice, insurance pays everything here. Okay. But back then, people had to pay from their pocket. That's why when we treat a patient, we don't prescribe unnecessary tests at all. First, we do our clinical judgment, and then we do very limited tests to establish that. Okay. And there is almost no legal bindings if you make a mistake or misdiagnose. That's another reason. But here, if you misdiagnose, they'll revoke your license. So that's why the difference is there. But the primary focus is to treat the patient with less money. That's why they rely on clinical eye rather than the diagnosis like lab tests. But most of the lab tests here, they are actually useless. I'll say that if you know, like if your clinical experience says you're suffering from this, You do one test, that will identify that. Why do all panel of tests? This is just waste of money. Just, yeah, I feel the healthcare system here is broken and the middleman, they're getting everything.
Well, it gets back to that there are legal repercussions here.
Bigger repercussions, yeah. Cover yourself.
Yeah.
You have a sense for how large the Bangladesh community is in this area? How many people, what percentage of the population?
So like, in the screen, there was Muhammad Hassan Ali. He was from Dinajpur. So Dinajpur is one of the little state of Bangladesh. So it is like 3,000 to 4,000 people from only the Dinajpur. So almost like, I think 600 to 700 people from Bangladeshi community lives in Columbus. 600,
100
yeah,
only?
more than
I
that.
think, yeah, in Columbus, more than that.
1,000?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because back in 2012, actually, we know each other, but now the community is so large, like we don't even recognize 50% of people we see in different programs.
In my experience, and some of this may be dated, when we brought people from Bangladesh, from Bhutan,
Yeah.
the Bhutanese community was very close and very close to the Somali community. People that we brought from Iraq did not want to be together. For, I think, understandable reasons because of the conflict within their country. So I guess my question then is, given those examples, how tight or how close is your community in this area? Do you all live fairly close together or are you spread out?
I actually, I'll say, they try to stay pretty close. So the thing is, like, when someone moves in Columbus, especially, the Riverview Drive, that's the perfect place to start. Because the rent is low, they have local support, they don't need transportation, like there is public transportation, and there are stores nearby. So almost everyone want to start there. But once they get established, they either move to Dublin, Hilliard, or other areas. So we have different focuses of people, that's true, and they try to live close by.
So do the Bangladesh people in Columbus go to the same mosque?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the mosque system, actually, it's universal. So most of the time we try to go to.
Want me to share, like it depends on the places, like where the mosque is situated. Like we have the mosque in the Riverview Drive. We also have another mosque in the Hilliard. So the people nearby the mosque, they used to go to the mosque. Like not the Bangladeshi people have to, like if they're close to the Hilliard Mosque, they go to the Hilliard Mosque. If they're close nearby the Riverview, they go to the Riverview Mosque. So yeah.
So it's not that they try to stay together with.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
I was wondering, I just heard that there is a festival at Franklin Park this weekend, I think.
Yes.
For the Asian. Will you be there or will there be a representation of the people from Bangladesh?
I will be there, but I will be there in the health screening. But there are like lots of cultural things, like the people, they dance, they sing, and lots of different things. But the Bangladeshi people, they will also participate in that cultural things. I will be the health care screening.
Actually, actually, me and her, we are working as a community liaison for Bangladeshi community in Asian Festival for about 4 or 5 years.
I try to do like whatever the research I find, I try to help like other people, like whatever. Asian Festival, free clinic, like the most of the people when they move, they don't know like where to go for treatment because without prescription, you cannot buy any medicine here. This is also a difference from Bangladesh. Like Bangladesh, we can buy antibiotic or any medication without prescription. But here, without prescription, you cannot buy it. To get the prescription, you need to see by a provider. So where they should go, they don't have an insurance. So I also used to work in the free clinic, like I volunteer in the Asian free clinic, American free, Columbus free clinic, Noor free clinic, so I can like help the people with, okay, like you have problem, you can make an appointment and go, they will help you with the prescription and everything. So like diversity, I used to work with the Bangladeshi, Indian, Pakistani, whatever, Somalian, whatever they need any kind of help. Like my neighbor is Turkish and they just move here, okay, you can go for a prescription for medicine, you can go this here. And they also want to try to do something small business. So like this and the RIG or other non-profit, they can help you with set up with the small business. So like I always try to like, okay, you need to go to that. So when I moved here, there was nobody to show me like where to go or how to like get things. But I try to know everything, not for myself, not only for myself, but for also other people. Like, okay, you can go there or you can like get some help from there.
I'm gonna add that Afsana is her own nonprofit. And even in Bangladesh, she and her husband, Mamoon here, they both, they worked in all their jobs that they did there. And then they also volunteered. And they went out to the villages and offered their free help that you were asking about how they did it. They were one of the people doing that. And Afsana continues to do that. So even though she hasn't been able to get a residency, she is helping just as many people or more people, and Mamoon too. So, yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I thought your presentation was great. She asked me earlier, but I would say, I really noticed walking into the home that the assumption was I was a friend. I wasn't earning your friendship. It was, you're assumed to be a friend first, and then we go from there. So there was a difference and I felt it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
I'm going to ask you all to mark in your calendars. Our next WIN event will be on Wednesday, June 28th, not Tuesday, Wednesday, June 28th. So if you put that down in your calendars, you will, we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Afsana, you did great.